Did you know that throughout their careers, some of the most iconic Black R&B artists carried a deeply personal secret? They were the voices behind timeless love songs that still move our hearts today. Yet, behind the spotlight and fame, they lived with truths they never felt free to share. These 15 R&B legends spent their lives in quiet solitude, concealing parts of who they truly were, stories that remained untold even after they were gone. These stories are not only fascinating, but also reveal the sacrifices that music legends often make to protect their fame and careers. Their lives represent more than just chapters in music history. They remind us of the heavy price of fame in a world still shaped by judgment and bias. In today's video, we'll uncover the hidden sides of these incredible artists. If you'd like to learn more about their untold journeys, don't forget to subscribe and give this video a like. Share your thoughts in the comments below. We'd love to hear from you. Thank you for watching. Phyllis Hyman possessed a voice of captivating depth, a symbol of R&B and jazz, rich with emotion and soul. Born in 1,949 inches, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, she was raised in a large working-class family and turned to music as her refuge from life's hardships. With her striking height, graceful presence, and powerful stage charisma, Phyllis quickly captured attention, rising to become one of the most prominent female voices in R&B throughout the 1,970 seconds and 1,980 seconds. Her breakthrough hit, You Know How to Love Me 1,979 catapulted Phyllis Hyman to new heights, showcasing the strength, elegance, and emotional power of her extraordinary voice. Later albums, including Living All Alone 1,986, further cemented her place in the R&B world with the haunting title track resonating deeply with anyone who had ever known loneliness. Phyllis had a rare gift for making listeners stop and feel. Every note, from her soulful lows to her heartfelt lyrics, carried the weight of genuine emotion. Yet behind the glamour and stage lights, Phyllis Hyman carried burdens few ever saw. Rumors about her same-sex relationships quietly followed her, though she never addressed them publicly. Instead, she poured her emotions and inner struggles into her music. Songs like You Know How to Love Me and Living All Alone were far more than love songs. They were reflections of her private battles, where every lyric and every note revealed the depth of her unspoken pain. Though she never spoke publicly about her personal life, Phyllis Hyman's music revealed everything: the sadness, the longing, and the loneliness that followed her throughout her years. Behind her radiant smile and captivating performances, she quietly battled severe depression, a struggle that few in the 1,980 seconds music industry dared to acknowledge. Despite her fame and beauty, she often felt isolated. Friends described her as radiant and commanding on stage, yet fragile and vulnerable when the spotlight faded. The pressures of the music industry, ongoing financial struggles, and the stigma surrounding mental health left Phyllis Hyman feeling increasingly isolated, unable to break free from society's expectations. As her career began to slow in the early 1,990 seconds, she remained deeply respected by both fans and fellow artists. Yet the loneliness she sang about was more than poetic expression. It was a reflection of her own pain. On the 30th of June, 1995, just hours before she was scheduled to perform at the Apollo Theater in Harlem, Phyllis Hyman tragically passed away at the age of 45. In her final note, Phyllis Hyman wrote that she was simply tired and could no longer go on. Her passing sent shockwaves through the music world, leaving fans and fellow artists heartbroken. They mourned not only the loss of an extraordinary voice, but also of a woman who carried too much unspoken pain. Her songs remain like letters left behind for the world, each one layered with emotion, truth, and meaning far deeper than melody alone. The legacy of Phyllis Hyman endures in every haunting love song and in every melody that carries both beauty and sorrow. Her story reminds us of the heavy price of silence and the loneliness that even the most gifted artists can face in a world clouded by stigma and judgment. Phyllis Hyman was more than a soul music diva. She was a symbol of strength and vulnerability, a timeless example of how an artist can transform pain into art and bear the depths of the human heart through music. Billy Paul, born Paul Williams in 1934 inches, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, possessed one of the most distinctive and captivating voices of the Philadelphia soul era. Seamlessly blending jazz, gospel, and R&B influences, he crafted a career that spanned more than 5 decades. His name became forever linked to his 1972 classic, Me and Mrs. Jones, a soulful masterpiece that topped the Billboard Hot 100, earned him a Grammy Award for Best R&B Male Vocal Performance, and sold over 2 million copies worldwide. The success of this album not only catapulted Billy Paul to fame, but also showcased his rare ability to fuse the sophistication of jazz with the emotional depth of R&B. Me and Mrs. Jones, with its tale of forbidden love and its smooth, seductive melody, became one of the most iconic ballads in music history. Yet behind that success lingered unanswered questions and quiet rumors about his personal life, particularly whispers regarding his possible same-sex relationships, which he never addressed publicly. Billy Paul was an intensely private man, rarely giving interviews or revealing details about his personal life. His quiet nature fueled speculation, with many wondering about the truth behind his unspoken romances. Though he never confirmed the rumors, the emotional duality in his music led listeners to believe that his love songs might have been reflections of feelings he could never fully express aloud. Throughout the 1970 seconds, Billy Paul released a string of remarkable albums, including 360 Degrees of Billy Paul and War of the Gods, works infused with political insight, social commentary, and sensual undertones. Ever the innovator, he fearlessly blended funk, gospel, and R&B into a sound uniquely his own. Yet, unlike contemporaries such as Marvin Gaye, who often clashed publicly with record labels and lived under constant media attention, Billy Paul chose to remain an enigma, a man whose art spoke loudly, even as his personal life stayed shrouded in mystery. The legacy of Billy Paul remains layered and complex, shaped as much by his silence as by his soulful voice. To some, he was simply the man behind Me and Mrs. Jones. To others, he was a mysterious artist whose songs carried meanings that were never fully understood. Even decades later, discussions about Billy Paul go beyond his immense musical talent. They touch on the private life he guarded so carefully and the secrets that were never revealed. Billy Paul passed away in 2016 at the age of 81, after a long battle with pancreatic cancer, leaving behind a voice that still echoes with beauty, mystery, and emotion. Billy Paul's passing left behind not only grief for the loss of a legendary voice, but also lingering questions about the life he kept hidden from the world. Will he forever be remembered not just for his music, but for the air of mystery that surrounded him? His legacy remains a haunting tale of love, longing, and unspoken truths, a man with a velvet voice who sang of passion and desire, while his own deepest truths remained quietly buried within the silence he chose to keep. Sylvester James Jr., known to the world simply as Sylvester, was one of the most groundbreaking and influential figures of the disco and R&B era. Born in 1947 inches, Los Angeles, California, he was raised in a gospel-rooted family but was often rejected from an early age for his flamboyant style and bold personality. Refusing to conform to society's expectations, Sylvester left home as a teenager and found refuge in San Francisco's vibrant counterculture scene, where he embraced his identity within the LGBTQ+ community and found kinship among drag performers and artists who celebrated freedom of expression. The 1970 seconds marked a defining chapter in Sylvester's career. By the end of the decade, he had risen to international stardom as one of disco's brightest icons. His 1978 hit, You Make Me Feel Mighty Real, became a global anthem, soaring up the Billboard charts and selling millions of copies worldwide. With his radiant falsetto and electrifying stage presence, Sylvester stood out in a music industry still dominated by heteronormative ideals. He was more than a performer, he was a living symbol of freedom, boldly challenging conventions of gender, identity, and love. Although Sylvester expressed himself boldly through his music, fashion, and unapologetic stage persona, he never publicly defined his sexual orientation. In interviews, he gracefully avoided personal questions, often saying that his music spoke for him. This duality made his career both fascinating and complex. He was celebrated as a symbol of liberation, yet still bound by the silence of an era when living openly could cost an artist their career or even their safety. Sylvester became a beloved hero within the LGBTQ+ community and a cherished presence in nightclubs across the world. Yet his fame never quite matched that of other disco superstars, a reflection of the barriers he faced in a society still reluctant to fully embrace difference. The 1,980 seconds brought heartbreak when Sylvester was diagnosed with HIV AIDS, a disease that was devastating the LGBTQ+ community at the time. Even as his health declined, he continued to perform with his signature power and grace, using his voice not only to entertain, but also to raise awareness and compassion for those affected by the epidemic, long before open advocacy was widely accepted. Sylvester passed away in 1988 at the age of 41, yet his legacy continues to shine brightly. He is remembered not only as a dazzling disco icon, but also as a fearless pioneer who proved that beauty, freedom, and desire could thrive even in a world of silence and resistance. His music still inspires generations, reminding us of the price so many artists have paid to live truthfully in a world of barriers. Sylvester's life remains a powerful paradox, one of courage, artistry, and authenticity, forever securing his place among music's most unforgettable legends. Jermaine Stewart was one of the most vibrant and charismatic artists to emerge from the R&B and pop scene of the 1,980 seconds. Born in 1,957 inches, Columbus, Ohio, he grew up in a family that loved music and dance, developing a deep passion for the performing arts from an early age. He began his career as a dancer on Soul Train before moving on to sing backup for renowned groups like Shalimar and the Temptations. But it was in 1986, with his breakout hit We Don't Have to Take Our Clothes Off, that Jermaine made his mark on the global music stage. The song climbed to number 5 on the Billboard Hot 100, becoming a massive hit and earning widespread popularity not only in the United States but also across Europe. With his infectious energy, bold fashion sense, and irresistibly catchy tunes, Jermaine Stewart became an MTV favorite and captured the hearts of fans worldwide. Yet behind the glittering image and joyful performances, he carried a personal secret that few truly knew. Although colleagues and friends in the industry quietly spoke about his same-sex relationships, Jermaine never addressed the topic publicly. During the 1,980 seconds of time marked by the AIDS crisis and widespread homophobia, revealing such truths could have been devastating, especially for a black artist trying to protect his place in the spotlight. So Jermaine chose silence, channeling his energy into his music and crafting a public image that was polished enough to charm fans, yet carefully measured to keep him safe from scrutiny. Although he released several albums, including Frantic Romantic and Say It Again, Jermaine Stewart's career never quite reached the same heights as his breakout hit We Don't Have to Take Our Clothes Off. By the early 1,990 seconds, his time in the spotlight had begun to fade, though he continued to be cherished by a loyal fan base. Behind the scenes, however, Jermaine faced mounting personal challenges and declining health. In 1997, at just 39 years old, he passed away from complications related to AIDS, leaving behind a profound void in the hearts of his fans and within the vibrant legacy of 1,980 seconds music. Jermaine Stewart's passing marked not only the loss of a remarkable musical talent, but also the end of a life shaped by silence and secrets left unspoken. Like Luther Vandross, Billy Preston, and so many others, he left behind a legacy of timeless melodies and heartfelt lyrics, a legacy both beautiful and bittersweet, touched by the quiet pain of what could never be said. His story reminds us that behind the glow of fame often lies hidden sorrow, and behind every unforgettable song, there may rest a truth the world was never ready to hear. The The legacy of Jermaine Stewart lives not only in his upbeat, infectious songs, but also in the quiet truth. His life represents the cost of silence in a world unprepared to embrace difference. Though he never shared much about his private life, his music continues to resonate, speaking for those who once had to hide parts of themselves simply to survive. Jermaine's story stands as a powerful reminder of the challenges artists face when their true identities are constrained by stigma and silence. The stories of these Black R&B legends are more than tales of music. They are stories of quiet battles fought in the shadows of silence and secrecy. They gave the world timeless love songs, yet many paid a heavy price for not being able to live as their true selves. What do you think about the lives and struggles of these artists? Share your thoughts in the comments below, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on the notification bell so you won't miss the next inspiring stories we bring to you. They say that behind every great man stands a great woman, but what if that woman isn't just beautiful and confident, but also decades younger? From secret romances to storybook weddings, these women are far more than just the wives of billionaires. Each of them has become a legend in her own right, leaving a lasting impression on the world. Some choose to lead quietly, while others shine brightly in the spotlight. But one thing unites them all: they've changed the game. In today's video, we'll take a closer look at the incredible journeys of these women who didn't just transform their own lives, but also influenced the world around them. They're not simply the wives of billionaires, but powerful, inspiring figures whose strength and vision continue to make a difference. The real question is, what gives them the power to achieve the extraordinary? Do you believe that behind every powerful man, there's a powerful woman? If you agree, drop a 1-inch the comments. If not, type 0. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to support the channel. Now, let's jump into these amazing stories. When Fabiana stepped into the world of Formula One, she was already known as a sharp executive, poised, intelligent, and effortlessly elegant. But when she married billionaire Bernie Ecclestone, the CEO of F1, who was 45 years her senior, she instantly became the focus of global headlines, not for her professional achievements, but for their staggering age difference. He was 81, she was 35. Rumors quickly followed, branding her a gold digger and their relationship a power imbalance. But Fabiana refused to play that narrative. Born in Brazil, she worked her way up to become the vice president of marketing for the Brazilian Formula One Grand Prix, earning respect through drive and discipline, not shortcuts or favors. It was in that world of fast cars and fierce competition that she met Bernie, the man who ruled Formula One with an iron grip. Yet, with Fabiana, even he found himself disarmed and deeply intrigued. They married in 2012, and Fabiana never once faded into Bernie's shadow. She brought her own light to the spotlight. Despite the gossip and even their height difference, yes, she's taller than him, the two built a surprisingly steady and enduring relationship. In 2020, she gave birth to their first child, making Bernie a father again at 89, a fact that drew plenty of public attention and criticism. Yet through it all, Fabiana remained composed, loyal, and grounded. Those who assumed she was driven by wealth completely missed the point. Sometimes, love isn't about age, status, or appearances. It's about two people finding comfort and partnership in each other, no matter what the world thinks. Fabiana Flossi, married to a man decades older, has shown remarkable wisdom and strength. Her story is a reminder that true connection defies convention and that a woman's grace, resilience, and quiet confidence can redefine what love and independence really mean. Every beauty queen dreams of a crown, but Sylvia Nduka had her eyes on a kingdom. When she won Miss Nigeria in 2011, she embodied grace, ambition, and charisma. Yet, her story took a dramatic turn when whispers linked her to Africa's richest man, Aliko Dangote. Suddenly, her tale wasn't just about beauty, it was about power, wealth, and intrigue. She was 25, he was 57, a business titan worth over $15 billion and virtually untouchable. The rumors painted their relationship as a clash between youth and empire, glamour and dominance. When tabloids claimed Sylvia had leaked their romance to push for marriage, Lagos society caught fire. Everyone had an opinion, Every headline was a frenzy, and Sylvia found herself at the center of it all, caught between love, ambition, and the relentless gaze of the public eye. Once celebrated for her grace and warmth, Sylvia Nduka suddenly found herself cast as the bold seductress in a real-life drama. To some, she was fearless, to others, dangerously ambitious. But through the whirlwind of gossip, Sylvia never uttered a word, neither confirming nor denying a thing. And in that silence, her mystery only deepened, making her even more captivating. What fueled the storm further was the revelation that Dangote was reportedly married, turning their rumored affair into one of the most talked-about scandals among Nigeria's elite. Yet when the dust settled, Sylvia didn't crumble, she evolved. Refusing to be defined by controversy, she built something lasting: a thriving business empire, Sylvia's Hair, and a reputation as an advocate for women's entrepreneurship. She turned whispers into fuel and judgment into motivation, proving that real queens don't wait for crowns, they build their own thrones. Her message resonated far beyond the tabloids. Beauty might open doors, but ambition builds empires. Whether the rumors of her romance were true or not, one fact stands tall: Sylvia Nduka's success was no accident. It was the result of vision, determination, and a refusal to let anyone else define her. In a world where power and privilege often dictate the narrative, Sylvia flipped the script. She didn't settle for being a passing chapter in someone else's story, she became the headline. Her journey reminds us that true influence isn't given, it's earned. And sometimes, to claim your place in the world, you need more than charm or luck. You need drive, intellect, and the courage to take control of your destiny. Sylvia Nduka stands as living proof that when a woman combines grace with grit, she can turn her own name into an empire. What happens when a world-class athlete trades the swimming pool for a royal palace? For Charlene Wittstock, it meant stepping into a whole new world as Princess Charlene of Monaco, the wife of Prince Albert II, son of the iconic Grace Kelly. But her story wasn't quite the perfect fairy tale seen on magazine covers. Charlene, an Olympic swimmer from South Africa, was admired for her dedication, grace, and striking beauty. When she met Prince Albert at a swimming competition back in 2000, no one could have guessed she'd one day marry him and inherit Grace Kelly's legendary title. 11 years later, that dream became real as Charlene walked down the aisle in a stunning custom Armani gown with the world watching every moment. Still, her wedding didn't come without its share of whispers and rumors. Reports claimed Charlene had tried to leave Monaco just days before the ceremony, and that the pressure of royal life had already started to take its toll. True or not, the media portrayed her less as a glowing bride and more as a hesitant princess. Yet Charlene stayed strong and carried on. In 2014, she gave birth to twins Jacques and Gabriella, securing the future of Monaco's royal line. Over the years, she's become a fashion icon, often likened to her late mother-in-law, Grace Kelly, for her timeless grace and effortlessly modern style. Now at 46, Charlene looks nearly unchanged, her elegance and presence as captivating as ever. But her story goes far beyond glamour and luxury. Behind the diamonds and designer gowns, Charlene faced her own battles, health issues, years apart from her family in South Africa, and constant media scrutiny. Yet through it all, she stood firm, reshaping what it means to be a modern-day princess, less about fairy tales, more about strength and perseverance. Princess Charlene may live in a palace, but it's her resilience and courage that truly define her. Not everyone can handle the unrelenting spotlight of public life, but like Charlene, it's often the challenges and hardships that shape us, helping us rise stronger and discover who we really are. When people hear the name Hefner, they usually think of Hugh Hefner, the iconic founder of Playboy, known for his silk robes, lavish parties, and the legendary Playboy Mansion. But his daughter, Christy Hefner, redefined that legacy with intelligence, strategy, and ambition, becoming one of the most influential women in the media world. Christy wasn't someone who lived in her father's shadow. Born in Chicago and a graduate of Brandeis University, she entered the world with a sharp mind and a natural gift for leadership. In 1988, she stepped up as CEO of Playboy Enterprises, becoming one of the first women to run a major international brand built around a male-focused image. The irony didn't escape anyone, but Christie owned it, leading the company with quiet confidence and undeniable authority. For more than 2 decades, Christie transformed Playboy from a symbol of glossy magazines and wild parties into a global powerhouse with a strong digital presence and cultural influence. While many doubted her ability to handle the pressure, she proved not only her skill but also her visionary leadership. Under her guidance, the bunny logo evolved into more than just a business emblem. It became an iconic mark of creativity and strategic brilliance. But Christie's story goes far beyond corporate success. She emerged as a passionate advocate for free speech, women's health, and social responsibility. Using her platform, she championed causes that often stood in contrast to the image of the very brand she led. That's what made her so fascinating, a woman who could run Playboy with authority while fearlessly standing up for women's rights. Christie stepped down as CEO in 2009, but her impact still echoes across the industry. She proved that legacy isn't about living in someone else's story, it's about picking up the pen, rewriting the script, and daring to tell your own. While Hugh Hefner built a world of fantasy, Christie Hefner created something far more groundbreaking. Legacy, she showed, isn't just about inheritance, it's about the courage to forge your own path. Christie proved that women can be strong, smart, and visionary, even in spaces shaped by tradition and expectation. She's not just an heiress, she's a creator of a new kind of legacy, one defined by purpose, power, and authenticity. Love stories in Hollywood often take surprising turns, but few are as unexpected as the romance between Malia Andelin and media titan Sumner Redstone. Malia was a flight attendant in her 20s, working aboard one of Viacom's private jets. Redstone, on the other hand, was 85, the powerful chairman of the media empire that owned CBS and Paramount Pictures. When their paths crossed, the tabloids could barely keep up. Malia wasn't just young, she was 60 years younger than him. To critics, the story seemed predictable, an aging billionaire and a beautiful young woman. But Malia quickly showed she was more than a cliché. She became Redstone's trusted companion, often seen by his side at exclusive Hollywood events and within the inner circle of entertainment's elite. Their relationship raised endless questions. Was it love, convenience, or a calculated move? Whatever the truth, no one could ignore the sudden influence Malia gained. Tax filings later showed she earned $75,000 for helping secure a major donation to the Global Poverty Eradication Project, a reminder that her connection to power also carried real impact in the world of philanthropy. Malia's story is one of courage stepping into a dazzling, high-stakes world that most people only see from afar, yet managing to stay grounded in who she is. In a place filled with temptation and power plays, Malia Andelin shows that the greatest strength lies in holding on to your identity and not losing yourself in the glitter. Her confidence and determination to forge her own path are what truly make her stand out. In a world where billionaire love stories often burn bright and fade fast, Eloise Brody stands as proof that glamour and staying power can share the same spotlight. Born and raised in Houston, Texas, Eloise was never destined for an ordinary suburban life. Her stunning looks and irresistible charm quickly caught the world's attention. She graced the cover of Playboy and, in 1988, earned the title of Playmate of the Year. For many, that would have been the peak, but for Eloise, it was just the start of something bigger. 2 years later, fate introduced her to John Paul DeJoria, the self-made billionaire behind the legendary Paul Mitchell hair care and Patron tequila brands. Once homeless before building 2 global empires, John Paul was as remarkable and magnetic as Eloise herself. Together, they made an unexpected yet perfect match, a resilient entrepreneur and a graceful model. The two married in 1993, and unlike many high-profile billionaire romances, Their story wasn't marked by scandals or dramatic breakups. It was defined by endurance. Through decades of business ventures, charitable work, and constant media attention, Eloise stood firm not as an accessory, but as an equal partner, a trusted confidant, and a steady force beside her husband. Even now, at 68, Eloise still shines with the same confidence that once lit up magazine covers only now. It's deepened by experience and wisdom. Alongside her husband, she continues to champion charitable causes, advocate for women's empowerment, and embody timeless elegance, aging with grace and authenticity. Her story isn't just about being the wife of a billionaire, it's about redefining what that means. Not a fleeting figure, but a lasting presence. Eloise Brody may have begun as a companion, but she's become so much more: a strong, independent, and influential woman in her own right. True greatness doesn't always come from following a set path. Sometimes it's about reshaping your role, no matter where life takes you. Eloise Brody has proven that even from humble beginnings, perseverance and wisdom can build a legacy that endures. Most romance writers imagine powerful men and complex love stories, but Melanie Kraft actually lived one. When she married Larry Ellison, the founder of Oracle, in 2003, the world was quick to label her as just another woman in the orbit of a tech billionaire. But Melanie's story didn't fit any cliché, not even one from her own novels. Before becoming Mrs. Ellison, she had already lived a dozen lives: bartender, pastry chef, safari driver, and eventually, successful romance novelist. She knew what it meant to build a story from the ground up with imagination, courage, and a willingness to start over. That same spirit is what drew her to Larry, the famously private visionary who was 25 years older than her. Their wedding, held at Larry's Woodside estate, was understated by billionaire standards, but what made it unforgettable was the best man, none other than Steve Jobs. Yes, that's Steve Jobs. The moment captured a rare fusion of Silicon Valley legend and modern-day myth. Yet, like many love stories, theirs didn't follow a perfect fairy tale ending. After 7 years together, the couple quietly divorced in 2010. No scandal, no drama, just a calm, mutual parting. Melanie, known for her warmth, grace, and quiet confidence, walked away with more than material wealth. She gained perspective, influence, and a few luxuries: yachts, beautiful homes, and hard-earned wisdom. Most importantly, she kept her sense of self. She kept writing. In a world that often celebrates the men behind the empires, Melanie reminds us that the women beside them can also craft stories of their own, equally powerful, equally inspiring. She stands as living proof that staying true to yourself is the greatest success of all. Thank you for watching this video about extraordinary women. Women who refuse to live in anyone's shadow, who rewrite their own stories, and who build legacies that reflect strength, intelligence, and purpose. Each of their journeys reminds us that resilience and vision can truly transform the world around us. If this video inspired you, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Your support helps us keep bringing you more powerful stories like these. And let's hear from you. Drop a 1-inch the comments if you believe women have the power to shape their own futures, or a 0 if you see it differently. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next video. Welcome back to our channel. Today, we're exploring the viral buzz that's taken social media by storm. New posts about Ozzy Osbourne have fans everywhere talking. Images and headlines are spreading fast, sparking curiosity and concern across the internet. But what's really going on? What's true, and what's just speculation? Stay tuned as we break it all down and look at the real story behind the trend. You won't want to miss this. Are you a true Ozzy Osbourne fan? If you are, drop a 1 in the comments. If you just know him from his legendary music, type a 0. And while you're here, don't forget to enjoy the video, hit that like button, and subscribe to help our channel keep growing. When news about Ozzy Osbourne's health spread, it wasn't just his fans, but the entire music world that felt the weight of concern and reflection. The thought of a legend like Ozzy stepping back from the spotlight is never easy to accept, especially for someone who has shaped music and popular culture for nearly half a century. Through every hardship, From illness to personal battles, Ozzy's strength and resilience have continued to touch millions of hearts around the world. After years of health struggles, Ozzy Osbourne has stepped back from the spotlight, marking the close of an incredible era in rock and metal history. For millions of fans, his journey represents far more than just music. It's a story of resilience, chaos, and redemption. Having lived a life filled with daring moments and unforgettable memories, Ozzy continues to inspire from a place of peace, surrounded by the love of his family, a balance many once thought he'd never find after so many years of turmoil and triumph. When news about Ozzy Osbourne began circulating online, it sent shockwaves through the media and across social platforms. Fans who had followed him since the early days of Black Sabbath and throughout his solo career expressed an outpouring of love and gratitude. Tributes and memories of Ozzy flooded in from fellow musicians, colleagues, and devoted fans, each celebrating the impact he's had on generations of music lovers. The first and most heartfelt responses came from his own family, reminding the world just how deeply loved Ozzy continues to be. Sharon Osbourne, Ozzy's wife of many decades, has often spoken about her deep love and admiration for him. She once described him not only as a remarkable artist, but as a devoted husband, father, and grandfather who means the world to their family. Through every challenge, Sharon stood by his side, witnessing his battles, his resilience, and his endless will to keep moving forward. Throughout Ozzy's most difficult moments, Sharon remained his greatest source of comfort, helping him find peace and strength even as he faced the challenges of Parkinson's disease. His children, Kelly and Jack, have often expressed how much they admire their father's courage. Jack once shared, "My dad is one of a kind. He's fought through everything life has thrown at him." Their words reflect the love and pride that have always surrounded Ozzy, both as an artist and as a father. Kelly and Jack have often spoken about how their father's legacy will live on through them and through the world of music. They've shared heartfelt memories of family life, reminding fans that Ozzy was not only a global rock legend, but also a devoted and loving father. For his family, friends, and fans around the world, Ozzy's influence remains deeply felt, a lasting reminder of the power of music and the resilience of the human spirit. Throughout his remarkable career, Ozzy Osbourne built an enduring musical legacy. As a founding member of Black Sabbath and a pioneer of heavy metal, he helped create timeless songs that continue to inspire generations. Musicians around the world often express deep admiration for him, recognizing his unmatched creativity and influence. Tony Iommi, Ozzy's longtime friend and bandmate, has frequently spoken about their bond, recalling that Ozzy was not just a collaborator, but a brother in music. Their friendship remains one of the most iconic partnerships in rock history, symbolizing the spirit and heart of Black Sabbath. Ozzy and Tony Iommi built one of the most powerful musical legacies in rock history, a bond that helped shape generations of heavy metal fans. Even younger audiences, who never saw Ozzy at his peak, continue to discover and celebrate his influence. Online, tributes and messages of appreciation often appear under hashtags like #ThankYouOzzy, where fans share stories of how his music changed their lives. His songs, energy, and spirit still echo through every corner of the rock community, proving that Ozzy's legacy remains timeless. The admiration and gratitude from fellow rockers for Ozzy Osbourne's influence has been immense. Generations of artists from Metallica and Megadeth to Slayer have often credited Ozzy and Black Sabbath as the foundation upon which modern heavy metal was built. James Hetfield of Metallica once said, "Ozzy paved the way for us, not just with his music, but with how he lived and faced life's challenges." Ozzy has always been more than just a musician. He's been a trailblazer, a rebel, and a symbol of endurance. Ozzy Osbourne has been far more than an artist. He's been a guiding light for generations of young musicians. Through his turbulent yet fearless life, he inspired others by staying true to himself and never giving up on his passion. To younger artists, Ozzy embodies an indomitable spirit, a symbol of resilience, reinvention, and raw authenticity. The lessons he's given the world aren't found in books, but in every lyric and every story told through his music. For millions of fans and musicians alike, Ozzy remains a living monument whose influence will forever echo through the heart of rock and metal. Around the world, radio stations and television networks continue to celebrate Ozzy Osbourne's incredible legacy. From his early days with Black Sabbath to his unforgettable solo career, his music remains an eternal anthem for generations of fans. In cities like London, Los Angeles, Tokyo, and his hometown of Birmingham, fans often come together to honor his influence, sharing stories, playing his records, and celebrating the sound that changed rock forever. Though he stepped back from the stage, Ozzy's presence lives on in every note, every lyric, and every heart that still beats to his music. Ozzy Osbourne's career stands as a true reflection of strength and devotion. On stage, he gave everything he had, performing with heart, passion, and extraordinary willpower in the face of illness. The image of Ozzy seated in a chair, frail yet singing with fire, has become a lasting symbol of his dedication and unshakable love for music. He has always been more than an artist. He's a living emblem of vitality, endurance, and the courage to rise above adversity. His influence continues to make the entire world bow in admiration. Ozzy Osbourne's journey represents not just a glorious life, but an unforgettable chapter in rock history, one filled with struggle, pain, triumph, and meaning. His legacy lives on through his albums, his electrifying performances, and the inspiration he's given to generations that followed. Ozzy has proven that no matter how hard life becomes, passion and perseverance can turn chaos into greatness. Today, his name stands forever etched in the heart of world music, never fading, never forgotten, never extinguished. Ozzy Osbourne, a legend, a warrior, an immortal icon of rock. Ozzy Osbourne represents more than just a legendary artist. He embodies an entire musical era that has defined generations. His legacy continues to live on, not only through the songs he's created and the performances that shook the world, but through the lasting impact he's made on popular culture and the music industry itself. Ozzy is far more than a rock star. He's a symbol of freedom, rebellion, and the unyielding spirit of never giving up. Ozzy Osbourne is not only a legend of rock and metal, but a true pioneer who broke through musical boundaries. From the earliest days with Black Sabbath, he helped forge a new genre, heavy metal, defined by its raw power and emotional depth. Their music wasn't just thunderous riffs, it was the sound of rebellion and a cry for freedom against the restraints of society. That's what made Black Sabbath more than a band. It made them a cultural revolution. Their songs continue to inspire generation after generation, proving that their spirit still lives on today. Tracks like Iron Man, Paranoid, War Pigs, and Fairies Wear Boots are far more than classic rock songs. They're powerful statements that echo the social tensions and human pain of their time. The lyrics speak to the frustrations born from war, religion, and oppression, while reflecting the personal struggles faced by Ozzy and his generation. It's this raw honesty and emotional depth that make his music timeless. Listeners don't just hear the sound, they feel the story behind every note. That's why Ozzy's songs continue to live on, resonating with audiences all over the world. Beyond his music, Ozzy became a true pop culture icon through his bold and unforgettable performance style. The notorious moment when he bit the head off a bat on stage became a lasting symbol of unrestrained rebellion and artistic fearlessness. He was equally celebrated for his electrifying presence, wild energy, and unapologetic self-expression. This one-of-a-kind style made him stand out from everyone else and secured his place as an irreplaceable rock legend. Ozzy redefined what it meant to be a rock artist, fearlessly authentic, unapologetically himself, and unafraid to push every boundary. Ozzy Osbourne's legacy stretches far beyond music and deep into global pop culture. He has inspired millions with his authenticity and fearless individuality. Every time he stepped on stage, he challenged limits, both his own and society's. What he leaves behind is a timeless message of freedom, resilience, and the power of staying true to yourself. That's why Ozzy Osbourne will forever stand as a legend, not only in rock, but in the cultural history of the world. Beyond his shocking stage antics, Ozzy was also a pioneer of raw honesty in the way he lived his life. His personal struggles with addiction, family conflicts, and illness were never hidden. making him a living symbol of resilience and authenticity. One of the most powerful parts of Ozzy's legacy is the love he carried for both his family and his music. Even in his later years, as he faced ongoing health challenges, that love never faded and it continued to define who he was at his core. In recent years, Ozzy has cherished every moment with Sharon, his children, and his grandchildren, always expressing how much he values being part of their lives and milestones. He's often spoken about how deeply he loves his family and how proud he is of the paths they've taken. For Ozzy, music has never been just a career, it's been the rhythm of his existence, intertwined with the people he loves most. His greatest hope has always been for his children to live with joy, courage, and the same passion that has guided him throughout his life. Ozzy Osbourne has always been more than a composer or performer. He's an artist who poured deep emotion into every melody and lyric. For him, music was never just a profession, it was a way of life, a fire that never stopped burning in his heart. Even while facing health challenges, Ozzy continued to perform with passion and purpose, proving his unwavering devotion to his craft. Fans, colleagues, and family all recognize the monumental legacy he's built, a body of work that will continue to live on and inspire generations to come. Ozzy Osbourne's legacy extends far beyond his music. It lives in the path he paved for countless artists who followed. From the explosive rise of Black Sabbath to his trailblazing solo career, he set the standard for generations of rock and heavy metal musicians. Ozzy showed the world that creativity, courage, and authenticity are the true keys to breaking boundaries. He remains not only a legend, but an endless source of inspiration for music lovers across the globe. Ozzy Osbourne's legacy reaches far beyond his music. It lives in the path he forged for generations of artists to follow. From the explosive rise of Black Sabbath to his groundbreaking solo career, he set the gold standard for rock and heavy metal musicians around the world. Ozzy proved that creativity, courage, and artistic honesty are the true keys to breaking boundaries. He stands not only as a legend, but as an endless source of inspiration for music lovers everywhere. Ozzy Osbourne also broke new ground for rock artists by bridging the worlds of music and television. The reality show The Osbournes transformed how fans saw rock stars, revealing a completely different side of Ozzy, not just the rebellious performer on stage, but also a father, a husband, and a quirky, humorous man navigating everyday life. The show helped Ozzy connect with a younger audience and reshape the public's idea of what a rock artist could be, revitalizing both his image and his family's presence in the entertainment world. Ultimately, Ozzy Osbourne's musical legacy will live on forever. The songs, albums, and unforgettable moments he's created on stage aren't just memories of a golden era, they're the very foundation on which future generations continue to build. Through his music, Ozzy's voice will keep echoing across time, inspiring young artists, music lovers, and anyone who finds in his lyrics a sense of freedom and the courage to never give up. His journey reminds us all that no matter how hard life gets or how many challenges stand in the way, when you stay true to yourself and your passion, you can always carve your own path. Ozzy Osbourne is and will always be a legend, with a legacy that continues to live in the hearts of music lovers everywhere. Thank you for watching this video. From his resilience in later years to the endless love of his family and friends, Ozzy has shown that no matter how hard life gets, love and music remain the greatest forces that keep us alive. His journey reminds us that true legends never fade, they inspire forever. And that's all the updates we have for now on Ozzy Osbourne, the rock legend whose story continues to capture the world's attention. No matter what the truth may be, we all wish him health, strength, and the power to overcome every challenge. If you're a fan of Ozzy or simply interested in this story, make sure to leave a comment below, hit like, share this video, and subscribe so you won't miss the next big update. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the next video. They say that behind every great man stands a great woman, but what if that woman isn't just beautiful and confident, but also decades younger? From secret romances to storybook weddings, these women are far more than just the wives of billionaires. Each of them has become a legend in her own right, leaving a lasting impression on the world. Some choose to lead quietly, while others shine brightly in the spotlight. But one thing unites them all: they've changed the game. In today's video, we'll take a closer look at the incredible journeys of these women who didn't just transform their own lives, but also influenced the world around them. They're not simply the wives of billionaires, but powerful, inspiring figures whose strength and vision continue to make a difference. The real question is, what gives them the power to achieve the extraordinary? Do you believe that behind every powerful man, there's a powerful woman? If you agree, drop a 1-inch in the comments. If not, type 0. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to support the channel. Now, let's jump into these amazing stories. When a gorgeous Italian model marries a Formula One billionaire more than 3 decades older, you can bet the tabloids have a field day. But Elisabetta Gregoracci didn't back down for a second. She stepped right into the spotlight and completely owned it. Born in Calabria, Italy, Elisabetta first caught attention through beauty pageants and magazine covers. Her natural charm soon lit up fashion runways, and before long she became a familiar face on Italian television. But the real global buzz came in 2008, when she married Flavio Briatore, the larger-than-life, often controversial businessman who helped lead Renault to Formula One glory. With a 30-year age gap and Briatore's reputation for drama, critics were quick to throw around the usual gold digger label. Elisabetta, however, just smiled and carried on with grace. From the beaches of Sardinia to the decks of Monaco's finest yachts, she turned every bit of public scrutiny into her own quiet form of rebellion. They have a son, Nathan Falco, and for a while, their life together seemed picture perfect. But as we know, love that moves too fast doesn't always last. In 2017, the couple quietly announced their divorce. No public drama, no messy court battles, and no bitterness. It was a rare, graceful ending in a world where power and ego often collide. Elisabetta walked away with dignity, shared custody of their son, and a financial settlement that ensured her comfort. After the split, she made a strong comeback, returning to television, walking red carpets, and reminding everyone she was far more than just someone's wife. Once the cameras followed her for who she married, now they followed her for who she had become. Life may try to define us by our relationships, but what truly matters is how we take back the pen and rewrite our own story. Elisabetta Gregoracci didn't just survive the headlines, she rose above them, building her own legacy with strength, grace, and confidence. In a world where wealth and elegance often come with quiet restraint, Jade Lagardère stood out fearless, bold, and unapologetically herself. Through her tattoos, her Instagram presence, and her unfiltered attitude, she spoke loudly and authentically. She wasn't the typical billionaire's wife, and that's exactly why the world couldn't stop watching her. At just 20 years old, Jade, a Belgian-American model with endless legs and a rebellious streak, caught the attention of Arnaud Lagardère, one of France's most influential businessmen, 50 years her senior. The media went wild over their 30-year age gap, the contrast in lifestyles, and the fortune surrounding them. But none of it mattered to Jade or Arnaud. When their relationship became public through an intimate video, her openness stunned the French elite. In a society that values discretion and composure, Jade was seen as too bold, too outspoken. Yet behind the tattoos and attitude was a woman deeply in love, and a man unafraid to love her right back. They got married and welcomed a child, and while the press swirled with non-stop gossip, Jade kept living life entirely on her own terms. She shifted gears from modeling to writing, and went on to publish a successful graphic novel proving she was far more than just a beautiful face in designer heels. She's a storyteller with sharp wit, creativity, and a voice that refuses to blend in. Of course, life in the spotlight isn't always glamorous. Their relationship faced its fair share of storms, rumors, criticism, and constant public scrutiny. But like a phoenix rising in designer leather, Jade came back stronger every time. She's a modern woman thriving in a traditional world, a tattooed rebel among the French elite. And maybe that rebellious spirit is exactly what legacy needs sometimes. Because building a legacy isn't always about maintaining tradition, it's about shaking things up. Jade Lagardère is living proof that a woman can rewrite the rules, rise with power, and leave her mark on a world that wasn't built for her voice but now can't ignore it. Born into an ordinary family in China, Wendy Deng's journey from humble beginnings to the heights of global media power is nothing short of extraordinary. But Wendy was never content to simply stand beside greatness, she intended to create it. Raised by engineer parents, her early life was far removed from the high-stakes world of billion-dollar boardrooms. Yet ambition has a way of finding its path. Determined and razor-sharp, she moved to California, earned her MBA from Yale, and quickly made her mark within Rupert Murdoch's vast media empire. Then came the moment that changed everything. She married the boss. Their 1,999 wedding took the world by surprise. He was 68, she was 30. But Wendy didn't flinch. She wasn't just young and beautiful. She was ambitious, educated, and remarkably strategic. During their 14 years together, she became a well-known figure in elite circles, forging connections with powerful names from Silicon Valley to Washington, even forming friendships with members of the Trump family. Yet her closeness to power didn't come without a price. Whispers about her influence, alleged political ties, and supposed affairs followed her everywhere. In 2018, reports surfaced suggesting that U.S. intelligence officials suspected Wendy of having connections with the Chinese government. Though no evidence or charges ever surfaced, the rumors fueled endless speculation. When she and Murdoch divorced in 2013, it wasn't just the end of a marriage, it was the close of one chapter and the rise of her own independent legacy. Since then, Wendy has built an impressive life on her own terms, becoming an art collector, film producer, and a quiet powerhouse in elite circles. No regrets, no distractions, just focus and control. Wendy Deng doesn't chase power, she naturally draws it in. She's proven that when you build your influence through intelligence, strategy, and resilience, nothing can stand in your way. Wendy is living proof that a smart, driven woman can master the game of power and rewrite the rules while doing it. Everyone knows Salma Hayek, the stunning actress with fierce eyes and an even fiercer spirit. But few truly understand the story of strength and resilience behind her beauty, including her marriage to one of the most powerful figures in fashion. In 2007, Salma surprised the world when she married François-Henri Pinault, the CEO of Kering, the empire behind luxury brands like Gucci, Balenciaga, and Saint Laurent. He's not just a billionaire. He's the man shaping the global fashion landscape. Yet Salma never needed his name to define her. She had already built her own legacy through talent, hard work, and determination. Their love story was quick but genuine. After just 11 months of dating, François proposed. And by then, Salma was already expecting their daughter, Valentina. Some called their love story a whirlwind. Others called it a gamble, but for Salma, it was simply real. What set her apart was that she never let herself be defined by her husband's empire. She didn't become Mrs. Pinault. She remained Salma, strong, confident, and fiercely protective of her individuality. Even under the immense pressure of fame, family, and public scrutiny, she never lost sight of who she was. More than just a wife, she continued to shine on red carpets, champion women's rights, and pursue her passion for acting and producing. She has also been a powerful advocate for women of color, working to create opportunities in industries where they're too often overlooked. Salma once said, "I don't want to be loved because I'm successful. I want to be loved despite it." And with François-Henri Pinault, it seems she found just that. True independence isn't about stepping out of someone's shadow, it's about standing tall in your own light. Salma Hayek is living proof of the strength that comes from knowing yourself and choosing love without losing identity. Some women marry billionaires, but Anna Sergeyevna chose to stand beside one of the most eccentric figures in modern high society. In Los Angeles, where wealth and fame blur beneath neon lights, billionaire James Goldstein is a legend in his own right, known for his bold fashion sense, front-row NBA seats, and his iconic mid-century mansion that doubles as a fashion and architecture landmark. He's rarely seen without a striking woman on his arm, and lately, that woman has been Anna Sergeyevna, a tall, blonde model who radiates old Hollywood glamour mixed with a modern magnetic edge. Now in his 82nds, Goldstein continues to live life his way surrounded by luxury, excitement, and beauty. For Anna, joining his world means stepping into a whirlwind of fashion weeks, elite parties, and courtside moments in basketball history. She's become the newest star in the dazzling world he's built, but Anna is far more than just a beautiful presence in his orbit. With her striking looks and mysterious charm, she's captured attention on her own terms, drawing curiosity and admiration wherever she goes. Who is she, beyond the flash of the cameras? Is she simply the latest muse in Goldstein's glamorous circle, or is she redefining what it truly means to be a billionaire's beauty? Critics may dismiss her as just another fleeting chapter in Goldstein's extravagant story, but those who look closer see something entirely different. Anna is a woman who knows how to command the spotlight without being swallowed by it. Whether she remains the queen of Goldstein's glittering world or builds an empire of her own, one thing is certain. In a society obsessed with image and appearances, she knows exactly how to turn perception into power. In a world where beauty often defines destiny, Anna Sergeyevna proves that a woman can use attention as a tool, not a trap, to shape her own narrative. Intelligence, resilience, and the courage to seize every moment are what truly set her apart. She stepped into the spotlight with effortless grace and left it wearing a multi-million-dollar wedding ring. But make no mistake, Hope Dworajic-Smith is nobody's trophy. She's a powerhouse in her own right. In 2010, Hope caught global attention as Playboy's Playmate of the Year, embodying beauty, poise, and confidence all at once. When tech billionaire Robert F. Smith met her, it wasn't just her looks that drew him in, it was her drive, her charisma, and her undeniable presence. Their wedding was the stuff of dreams, set against the breathtaking backdrop of Italy's Amalfi Coast. There was a private helicopter, a stunning villa, and even John Legend performing live not once, but twice first as Hope walked down the aisle. Then again as the couple shared their first dance under the stars. The guest list read like the pages of Forbes, and the night itself felt like a modern-day fairy tale. But it's what happened after the vows that truly defines Hope Dworajic-Smith. She didn't disappear into a life of luxury, she built one on her own term. As the founder of Mutha, a high-end skincare brand created for mothers, Hope turned motherhood and entrepreneurship into twin pillars of her legacy. She's open about identity and empowerment, often speaking about what it means to be more than a title, more than a mold, and more than a label. While her husband ranks among the richest men in America, Hope has carved out her own path, standing beside him, never behind him. In doing so, she's become a modern symbol of confident femininity, powerful, accomplished, and unapologetically herself. She may have started her journey gracing the pages of glossy magazines, but today she commands attention in boardrooms and business circles. Never underestimate a woman who knows how to own every space she walks into, whether it's under the flash of cameras or the soft glow of candlelight. Hope Dworajic-Smith proves that a woman can be both captivating and strong, building her own destiny no matter the world she steps into. Drop a 1 the comments if you're inspired by Hope's story of strength and independence, or a 0 if you're not quite convinced yet. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to support the channel. Now, let's keep going and see how the story unfolds. Imagine being crowned at just 18, not in a fairy tale, but in a world where centuries-old traditions dictate every move you make. That was Princess Amira Al Tawil's reality, until she chose to take control of her own story. Her marriage to Saudi billionaire Prince Al-Walid bin Talal captured global attention. A young woman filled with passion and ambition suddenly found herself in a palace surrounded by power, wealth, and expectation. Their relationship reportedly began with a 2-hour interview Amira conducted with the prince, an encounter that soon turned into admiration, commitment, and eventually, a royal wedding. But Amira was never satisfied with a crown she didn't choose. Beneath the elegance and royal rituals was a woman driven by purpose, a believer in women's rights, community growth, and her own independence. Where others saw luxury, she saw limits. So, she made a bold choice to rewrite her destiny. When her marriage ended in 2013, many expected scandal or heartbreak. Instead, what the world witnessed was transformation. Amira didn't walk away as a fallen princess, she emerged as a woman reborn. Leaving behind privilege and titles, she devoted herself to empowering women, championing education, and breaking down the barriers of tradition that once confined her. Today, even though Amira no longer holds a royal Saudi title, she possesses something far more powerful: self-determination. Every time she appears in public, every speech she delivers for charitable causes, she carries a message of strength and autonomy, that a woman's worth isn't defined by her title, but by the choices she makes. Amira no longer lives by a script written for her. She's writing her own story, one bold chapter at a time. If fairy tales promise a happily ever after, Amira Al Tawil shows us that true magic begins when you stop living by someone else's rules. Her journey isn't just about wealth or royal bloodlines, it's about freedom, courage, and transformation. Wherever you are in life, remember this: never let anyone else author your story. Be brave enough to write your own and claim your destiny. It's not every day you see a woman marry a billionaire and outshine even a royal wedding, but Andrea Hissam did exactly that. When she wed casino tycoon Steve Wynn in 2011, she didn't just walk down the aisle, she owned the moment. Their ceremony, famously dubbed America's Royal Wedding, took place just one day after Prince William and Kate Middleton's and was held at the lavish Wynn Las Vegas resort. Andrea's gown, a stunning Oscar de la Renta creation, drew comparisons to Princess Kate's own dress, and the guest list was a who's who of global power and prestige, with more than 1,000 elite attendees. Yet Andrea was never just another glamorous bride. Born in England and raised amid high society, she brought with her a timeless sophistication and poise that made her stand out wherever she went. She's the kind of woman who captures attention long before anyone realizes she's with one of the richest men in America. Despite being 21 years younger than Steve Wynn and facing the inevitable chatter about their age difference, Andrea quickly showed she was far more than just a beautiful companion. Through her public appearances and subtle influence behind the scenes, she exuded grace and composure, even while standing beside one of the most closely watched figures in the business world, particularly when Wynn's name surfaced in headlines during the Me Too era. Still, Andrea chose to stay. In a world where love, power, and wealth rarely coexist without complications, she remains graceful, composed, and untouched by scandal. Perhaps she's holding more cards than anyone realizes, because true power isn't always about being loud or commanding attention. It's often found in quiet strength, in the ability to stay calm and steady when everything around you shifts. Andrea Hissam stands as proof that a woman can hold her own through confidence, intuition, and the wisdom to live life entirely on her own terms. Welcome back to our channel. Today, we're exploring the viral buzz that's taken social media by storm. New posts about Ozzy Osbourne have fans everywhere talking. Images and headlines are spreading fast, sparking curiosity and concern across the internet. But what's really going on? What's true and what's just speculation? Stay tuned as we break it all down and look at the real story behind the trend. You won't want to miss this. Are you a true Ozzy Osbourne fan? If you are, drop a 1 in the comments. If you just know him from his legendary music, type a 0. And while you're here, don't forget to enjoy the video, hit that like button, and subscribe to help our channel keep growing. Few people know that Ozzy Osbourne once recorded a short video less than 2 minutes long that captured his deep passion and love for his family and fans around the world. In it, he spoke candidly about the challenges of living with illness, while expressing heartfelt gratitude to everyone who had supported him throughout his journey from the golden years with Black Sabbath to the more recent times when he faced health setbacks. Though his voice was soft and a bit shaky, his eyes still reflected the same unbreakable spirit that has always defined him on stage. What truly moved his family to tears was a touching moment in the video. Ozzy sitting before a large hand-painted portrait with the words, "I'm not afraid. I'm at peace." It was a deeply personal symbol he wanted close by, representing acceptance, strength, and gratitude. That image not only touched his family's hearts but also moved millions of fans around the world. Ozzy, once known for his wild, rebellious spirit, continues to be remembered with peace and love. His legacy lives on, not only through his music, but also through the lesson of resilience and courage he's shown throughout his life. Ozzy Osbourne, one of rock's most legendary figures, has faced several health challenges in recent years. Among the most serious was Parkinson's disease, which he publicly revealed in 2019, a diagnosis that profoundly changed his life. The condition gradually affected his mobility, making everyday tasks more difficult. Yet what truly defines Ozzy is his extraordinary resilience and unwavering love for music, a passion that continues to shine, no matter how tough the journey becomes. Since his diagnosis, Ozzy has faced many health challenges. He's been hospitalized and undergone several surgeries, yet his determination to stay connected to the stage never wavered. Even as his mobility and voice were affected, his spirit remained unbroken. Despite the pain and physical strain, Ozzy continued to perform, pushing himself beyond limits, driven by a passion for music that has never faded. His love for music and for his fans was what kept him going. Ozzy was more than just an artist. He was a fighter. Though his body faced challenges, his spirit never wavered. On the 5th of July 2025, he delivered a powerful performance at Villa Park in Birmingham, the very place where his legendary journey first began. It wasn't just another concert. It was a symbolic homecoming, as Ozzy reunited with Black Sabbath after 20 years, reminding the world why he remains one of rock's most enduring icons. For many fans, this was more than just a concert, it was an emotional milestone. While most artists might have stepped back because of illness, Ozzy refused to be defeated. Even as he faced pain and moments of physical struggle, he rose to his feet and sang, offering fans a deeply personal performance filled with gratitude and love. That night became unforgettable, a true celebration of his legacy and spirit. For lifelong fans, it felt like witnessing the closing of a powerful chapter in Ozzy's incredible journey. Even while facing health challenges, Ozzy delivered a powerful message in an emotional moment. Are you ready? Let the madness begin. Those words weren't just a rallying cry to the audience, they embodied his unstoppable spirit and lifelong devotion to music. The atmosphere at that concert was indescribable. His love for the fans, his refusal to give up, and the timeless energy of his music turned the night into something truly unforgettable. Even in the face of his toughest challenges, Ozzy never stopped fighting not for himself, but for his fans and for his music. His health struggles and the pain he endured could never keep him from performing. That unbreakable, never-give-up spirit is what Ozzy has always represented, and his fans could feel it even in his most difficult moments. His resilience continues to inspire everyone who loves his music. Why did Ozzy choose to keep performing, even when his health made it incredibly difficult? The answer is simple: music. For Ozzy, performing was never just a career, it was his life's heartbeat. Music defined who he was, and stepping onto the stage to connect with his fans gave him purpose. In a recent interview, Ozzy shared that music is what truly keeps him alive and inspired. This is why he kept pushing through every illness and hardship, because music was the force that carried him forward. Ozzy Osbourne's story isn't just filled with wild, unforgettable moments and controversy, it's also a story of perseverance, deep love for his family and music, and an unshakable determination to never give up, no matter how hard life became. He lived every moment to the fullest, and his journey stands as a testament to the indomitable spirit of a true musical legend. When a legend like Ozzy Osbourne reaches a turning point in his journey, it leaves not only his fans but the entire world with an indescribable mix of emotion and admiration. What makes Ozzy's story so powerful are the moments of meaning, the unexpected twists, and the heartfelt memories that many fans are only now beginning to understand. These moments not only reflected the love and resilience Ozzy carried throughout his family and career, but also symbolized the perseverance and sacrifice that defined his life. On the 5th of July 2025, Ozzy Osbourne took the stage at Villa Park in Birmingham, the very place where his legendary journey first began. It was far more than just a concert. It was a historic reunion with Black Sabbath after 20 years apart, marking one of the most emotional and unforgettable nights in rock history. The atmosphere at Villa Park that night felt frozen in time. Though Ozzy's voice no longer carried the same power it once did, every word he sang sent waves of emotion through the crowd. No one needed to say a thing, the magic of that performance spoke for itself. Every spotlight, every guitar note became a tribute to the Prince of Darkness. And Ozzy himself, though visibly tired, smiled warmly, as if sharing one more heartfelt thank you with his fans. Right after the performance, behind-the-scenes photos surfaced and quickly spread across social media. Ozzy was seen being helped into a wheelchair by two close assistants, his face showing exhaustion, yet his eyes shining with deep satisfaction. In that moment, it was clear he had given everything he had to the stage. Reports later shared that Ozzy had been performing through pain, but he never let the audience see it because to him, his fans always deserved nothing less than his all. The very next day, social media was flooded with photos and heartfelt messages celebrating Ozzy Osbourne. The hashtag number #ThankYouOzzy quickly climbed to the top of global trends as fans around the world shared their love and admiration. Though he's now stepped back from the spotlight, his spirit and music continue to inspire millions. Ozzy remains not only a rock legend but also a lasting symbol of passion, resilience, and heart, leaving the world with a legacy that will never fade. The applause and cheers from the fans turned that night into a historic moment, as Ozzy delivered a full-hearted performance despite his health challenges. Those who were at Villa Park will never forget the sight of Ozzy seated in his chair, gripping the microphone and singing with every ounce of strength he had. His eyes meeting the crowd, soaking in their love and support. It was an unforgettable scene, a legend refusing to let anything stand between him and the music he loved most. The moment Ozzy witnessed his daughter's proposal became one of the most touching highlights of his later years. Despite the pain and exhaustion he often faced, he smiled, his eyes sparkling with pure joy. Surrounded by family, the atmosphere felt warm, intimate, and full of love. Ozzy gently held his daughter's hand and told her he was prouder of her than anything else in the world. It was more than just a family celebration, it was a deeply emotional reminder of the love and legacy that define a true legend. Even while facing health challenges, Ozzy always tried to stay positive around his daughter. He often asked about her wedding plans, showing his endless love and support. Instead of letting the situation bring sadness, he offered her heartfelt advice: live happily and never lose yourself. Those words have since become priceless memories for his family. And now, what do you think? Should Ozzy Osbourne take a well-deserved rest and focus on his health, or keep inspiring the world through music? If you believe he deserves time to rest, drop a number 2 in the comments. But if you think he still has the strength to shine on stage, type number 5. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe so you won't miss more incredible stories about music legends. In recent times, Ozzy's family has shared a few private photos and touching moments that reveal his softer, more personal side. Among them was a heartfelt video of him congratulating his daughter and expressing his wish to see her in her wedding dress, a moment that moved millions of fans around the world. Though he appeared tired and fragile, he still smiled, his voice filled with warmth and love. His family shared that it was his deep devotion to his children that always gave him strength. In those moments, Ozzy wasn't just the image of a rock star, he was a father, genuine, loving, and profoundly human. Through stories shared by friends and relatives, fans began to understand more about the challenges Ozzy faced. Parkinson's disease gradually affected his mobility, brought constant pain, and sometimes even caused emotional ups and downs. Yet he never complained in front of his family, especially his daughter. Ozzy carried himself with quiet strength and dignity, wanting his children to always remember him as a resilient and loving father. In many ways, it was the love of his family that became his greatest source of motivation, helping him push through even the hardest moments. In his later years, Ozzy's journey became deeply emotional. As his health challenges grew and each day brought new struggles, he continued to fight with remarkable courage. Through it all, his wife Sharon never left his side. She cared for him with unwavering devotion, helping to ease his pain and giving him the love and strength he needed to keep going. Even as Ozzy faced ongoing health challenges, Sharon remained by his side every single day, surrounding him with love and comfort. She witnessed his toughest moments as Parkinson's and other complications tested his strength, often requiring treatment to manage the pain. His children, Kelly and Jack, were there too, offering constant support and reminding him of the powerful love that only family can give. The precious moments Ozzy shared with his family became a powerful source of strength, helping him face the physical pain and exhaustion. Even when he felt weak, their love kept him grounded and determined to keep going. Alongside his family, Ozzy's close friends like Tony Iommi and Geezer Butler, his longtime Black Sabbath bandmates, shared heartfelt memories of their years together. They recalled standing side by side through struggles, triumphs, and the unforgettable journey that defined their legendary bond. Ozzy's longtime friends spoke with deep admiration and love, remembering him as a true fighter who never gave up. Through the stories shared by those closest to him, the world gained a clearer picture of Ozzy Osbourne's later years, times marked by challenges, but also by an overwhelming love for music and family. Even in his toughest moments, that love and dedication continued to define the legend he will always be. The life and career of Ozzy Osbourne is a story of challenges, triumphs, and unforgettable moments. From a humble boy in Birmingham, he rose above hardship to become one of the most iconic figures in music history. His journey had its darker chapters, but it was his resilience and the unexpected twists along the way that defined his legacy. Ozzy Osbourne became more than an artist. He became a symbol of rebellion, freedom, and unbreakable perseverance. Ozzy Osbourne was born into a poor family in Birmingham in 1948 and faced many hardships throughout his childhood. When his parents separated, his mother, Lillian, was left to raise him and his siblings alone. Growing up in poverty gave Ozzy a deep awareness of struggle and a burning desire to escape it. School never captured his interest, but music did. Though often ridiculed for his poor grades and social difficulties, young Ozzy found comfort, identity, and purpose in sound, the one thing that made him feel truly alive. At just 15, Ozzy left school and took on a series of odd jobs to make ends meet. He worked as a mechanic, spent time in a car factory, and did whatever he could to help support himself. But deep down, music was always calling. Before long, Ozzy made the life-changing decision to follow his passion. After performing with a few small local bands, fate led him to cross paths with the group that would change everything Black Sabbath. Black Sabbath was formed in 1968 when Ozzy joined forces with his friends Tony Iommi, Geezer Butler, and Bill Ward. With their heavy riffs and haunting lyrics, the band reshaped rock music and became the pioneers of heavy metal. Together, they created timeless anthems like Iron Man, Paranoid, and War Pig songs that were dark, powerful, and unapologetically raw. Their music captured the restless spirit of rebellion and the deep disillusionment with society that Ozzy and his bandmates felt during that turbulent era. Despite Black Sabbath's massive success, Ozzy was forced to part ways with the band in 1979 after growing tensions and his ongoing battle with addiction. For many, that could have marked the end of his career, but for Ozzy, it was the beginning of a bold new chapter. Embarking on a solo journey, he quickly rose to legendary status with groundbreaking albums like Blizzard of Oz and Diary of a Madman. With hits such as Crazy Train, Ozzy reached even greater heights, cementing his legacy as one of the most iconic figures in rock history. Thanks to his raw talent and magnetic stage presence, Ozzy quickly became a standout in the global rock scene. He wasn't just a singer, he was a symbol of chaos, energy, and unpredictability. The infamous 1982 incident in Iowa, when Ozzy bit the head off a bat during a live performance, became one of rock's most unforgettable moments. Far from being just a shocking stunt, it captured the wild, untamed spirit that defined Ozzy's persona both on and off the stage. These moments reflected not only Ozzy's personal struggles, but also the inner battles he faced behind the spotlight. They became his way of coping with pain while carrying the heavy burden of fame. Throughout the 1,980 seconds and 1,990 seconds, Ozzy reached the height of his success as a solo artist, but it wasn't just his music that made him a legend. He became a cultural icon, woven into the very fabric of popular culture. From his groundbreaking performances with Black Sabbath to his triumphant solo career, Ozzy not only revitalized the metal genre but helped elevate rock music to new heights. Constantly evolving, he continued to innovate and reinvent himself, securing his place as a legend in the hearts of fans worldwide. One of the biggest turning points came in 2002, when Ozzy and his family opened their doors to the world through the hit reality TV show The Osbournes. This came as a huge surprise to many fans, as it revealed a completely different side of Ozzy, not just the rock legend on stage, but a father, a husband, and at times, a delightfully awkward man navigating everyday life. The Osbournes introduced him to an entirely new audience, people who weren't necessarily rock fans but grew to love his family and the humorous, unpredictable moments that made Ozzy so uniquely human. The striking contrast between the wild Ozzy Osbourne on stage and the man behind the scenes is what makes the world unable to look away. On stage, he's the Prince of Darkness, fierce, unpredictable, and fearless, doing what no one else would dare. But on the Osbournes, fans met a completely different side of him. A humorous, sometimes clumsy, yet deeply endearing husband and father. This duality made him more relatable and human than ever before. Beyond the rock icon and legend, Ozzy was also a loving man, vulnerable, sincere, and unmistakably real. Despite a lifetime of controversy from personal battles to his long struggle with substance abuse, Ozzy Osbourne has continued to earn the respect and love of fans around the world. That loyalty stems not only from his legendary work with Black Sabbath or his groundbreaking solo career, but from his ability to rise stronger after every fall. Ozzy never stops. Each time he returns, he brings something new while remaining unmistakably himself. His music transcends time, generations, and boundaries. That's what keeps his spirit alive in the hearts of rock fans everywhere. From a poor boy in Birmingham to a global legend, Ozzy's journey stands as a powerful testament to passion and perseverance. He not only battled illness and addiction, but also rose above his own shadows to keep moving forward. Ozzy Osbourne was never a perfect man, and it was exactly that imperfection that made him an irreplaceable icon. To his fans, he is more than an artist. He is a symbol of life itself, of resilience, of rebellion, and of never giving up. His flame continues to burn brightly, an eternal light in the world of rock music. In the music world, Black R&B legends have always stood out as powerful, influential figures. Their unmatched talent and unforgettable songs have shaped generations and won the hearts of millions. But beyond the bright lights and iconic performances, there's a hidden side most people never see, a side filled with personal battles, painful mistakes, and lives impacted by drugs, violence, and controversy. These 18 legendary R&B artists once stood at the top, admired, celebrated, and surrounded by fame and fortune. But like many who rise too fast and fly too high, they faced their breaking point. Their struggles with addiction, personal turmoil, and public scandals didn't just impact their careers, they changed their lives forever. Drop a comment with 1 if you empathize with their journeys, or 0 if you see things differently. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications, because these stories aren't just about music. They're powerful reminders of history, resilience, and voices that never truly faded. They're simply waiting to be remembered. Bruno Mars is a powerhouse singer, songwriter, and producer who has taken the music world by storm with smash hits like Uptown Funk and Just the Way You Are. His one-of-a-kind sound, a blend of pop, funk, R&B, and soul has won over millions of fans across the globe. Thanks to his incredible talent and chart-topping success, Bruno is considered one of today's most influential artists and has even made Forbes' list of the highest-paid entertainers. His remarkable achievements haven't just brought him worldwide fame, they've cemented his place as a true force in modern music. But even with all his success, Bruno Mars hit a major setback in 2010. On September 19 of that year, at the Hard Rock Casino in Las Vegas, police found him then just 26 inches possession of cocaine. The news came as a shock to many, especially for someone rising so quickly and seen as a bright new star in music. Facing legal consequences and public scrutiny, Bruno took responsibility, calling his actions foolish and admitting it was a serious mistake. He also stated that it was his first time using drugs, showing remorse as he worked to move forward. To move past the situation, Bruno accepted a plea deal that came with strict conditions. He agreed to stay out of trouble for a year in exchange for a reduced penalty. As part of the deal, he paid a $2,000 fine and completed 200 hours of community service so he could clear his record. Later on, in an interview, Bruno admitted he hadn't been fully truthful about his past and explained that the incident happened when he was young and had been drinking too much. Despite this setback, Bruno Mars faced the consequences, learned from his mistake, and kept pushing forward with his music career. His comeback showed that even when life knocks you down, what really matters is getting back up, growing from the experience, and continuing the journey toward success. Whitney Houston wasn't just a singer, she was the voice. With more than 200 million records sold worldwide, she remains one of the most iconic artists in music history. Her unforgettable performance of I Will Always Love You for the Bodyguard soundtrack became a global phenomenon, selling over 45 million copies and breaking records around the world. By the mid-1990s, Whitney seemed to have everything: success, beauty, fame, and the love of millions. But behind the spotlight and applause, she faced a painful private reality marked by emotional turmoil, a difficult relationship, and a battle with addiction that ultimately cost her life. Her personal challenges intensified after marrying fellow singer Bobby Brown in 1992. What started as a glamorous union soon became turbulent and unstable, revealing the harsher side of love and fame. By the early 2000s, Whitney's finances had begun to collapse, even after once accumulating more than $100 million. By 2006, reports claimed her bank account held less than $40,000, and she had even pawned personal items including a Grammy for cash. Her daughter, Bobby Christina, grew up in an unstable environment, surrounded by both deep affection and troubling neglect. In 2009, Whitney attempted a comeback with her album I Look to You, which debuted at #1 on the Billboard charts. For a moment, fans believed she had finally overcome her struggles, but the toll on her voice and her spirit was clear. Then, on the 11th of February 2012, the world was shocked when Whitney Houston was found dead in the bathtub of her suite at the Beverly Hilton Hotel. Reports described rising tension, frequent arguments, and a growing dependence on drugs. Cocaine, alcohol, and prescription medication became part of Whitney's daily life, with some accounts claiming her drug expenses reached as high as $12,000 a week. The dressing room that once represented glamour and stardom had turned into a space filled with chaos and addiction. While many pointed to Bobby Brown's influence, Whitney's struggle wasn't solely rooted in her marriage, it also reflected the overwhelming pressure of fame and the loneliness it brought. She lived in a golden cage, adored worldwide yet deeply misunderstood on a personal level. Years later, revelations about her private relationship with longtime friend and assistant Robin Crawford highlighted Whitney's search for real love and trust in a world where both were scarce. Investigators later reported that Whitney's system contained cocaine, Xanax, and alcohol. She was only 48 years old. Tragically, just 3 years later, her daughter Bobby Christina also passed away under strikingly similar circumstances after being found unconscious in a bathtub. For fans around the world, it felt like a haunting echo of Whitney's fate, a painful reminder of how addiction, grief, and emotional pain can leave lasting scars across generations. Whitney Houston's story remains a powerful blend of triumph and heartbreak. She was the defining voice of her era, the soundtrack to countless memories. Yet her life also showed how overwhelming fame and personal struggles can take even the brightest stars away too soon. Michael Jace, once a familiar face on television, was widely recognized for his role as police officer Julian Lowe in FX's crime drama, The Shield. He also appeared in notable films such as Forrest Gump and Boogie Nights, earning attention for his sincere and compelling performances. But in May 2014, his life and career collapsed in a devastating tragedy. During a moment of uncontrolled anger, Jace fatally shot his wife, April Jace, inside their Los Angeles home, with their 2 young children present. In court, prosecutors stated that he had been drinking heavily that night, and the act was linked to jealousy and insecurity within their marriage. Jace was ultimately sentenced to life in prison, with a minimum of 40 years before he is eligible for parole. In his final court statement, Michael Jace expressed deep remorse, saying he had no excuse for his actions and apologizing for the pain he caused, especially to his children. He is currently serving his sentence at California State Prison. Jace's case stands as a powerful reminder of the devastating consequences of domestic violence and highlights the importance of seeking help when struggling with emotional or mental health challenges. Darren Sharper, now 48, was once considered one of the biggest names in American football, but his career and reputation collapsed after he was accused of multiple serious crimes, including sexual assault. Sharper had been a standout safety during his 14 seasons in the NFL, playing for the Green Bay Packers, Minnesota Vikings, and New Orleans Saints. He earned 2 All-Pro selections, 5 Pro Bowl appearances, and was part of the Saints' Super Bowl-winning team following Hurricane Katrina. However, the allegations and criminal charges that followed brought his legacy to an abrupt end, drastically altering the course of his life and career. However, Sharper's career collapsed in 2014 when allegations surfaced that he had drugged and sexually assaulted multiple women. The first case began in West Hollywood, and more accusations soon followed, including legal action in Las Vegas in 2015. Although settlement details were not made public, the claims continued to mount. In 2016, Sharper pleaded guilty or no contest to charges related to drugging and assaulting women in California and Nevada, leading to an 18-year prison sentence. His case stands as a powerful and sobering reminder of how serious actions can destroy a public figure's career and reputation, and it underscores the importance of accountability and responsibility, especially for those in the public eye. Pop icon Michael Jackson, one of the most influential figures in global culture, spent the final 15 years of his life battling intense personal struggles. Despite his legendary career and unmatched achievements, those later years were marked by significant physical and emotional challenges. While his music embodied joy, freedom, and imagination, his private world was far more complicated. Emotional strain, isolation, and the immense pressure of living under constant public scrutiny pushed him into a difficult cycle of dependency that he could not break free from. Although friends and family repeatedly tried to support him and step in, Jackson often remained in denial about his struggles. He resisted accepting help, unwilling to acknowledge the seriousness of his situation. This denial revealed a painful contradiction: a global superstar determined to appear strong and untouchable, yet privately fighting battles no one could see. Despite moments where he tried to make changes, his refusal to fully confront the problem left him trapped in a cycle he could not break on his own. It has been reported that during this time, in an effort to manage and conceal his dependency on medication, Michael Jackson allegedly used as many as 19 different fake identities. These false documents allowed him to obtain drugs beyond normal limits, revealing the depth of his struggle and the seriousness of his condition. While Jackson remains a timeless musical icon, remembered for his extraordinary performances and unforgettable catalog of hits, behind the spotlight was a man wrestling with addiction, slowly pulled into a battle he could not escape. After the accident, Michael Jackson acknowledged that it marked the beginning of a long battle with dependency, one that would follow him for the rest of his life. Even as he continued releasing successful albums and preserving his status as a global superstar, his private world became increasingly tied to his struggle with addiction. The medications he relied on affected not only his physical health, but also his emotional well-being and clarity. Behind the unforgettable music and historic performances was a man facing profound pain, isolation, and inner turmoil. From that moment forward, his life was defined not only by extraordinary achievements, but also by a difficult and ongoing fight against a dependency he could never fully overcome. Michael Jackson's decline ultimately ended in tragedy when he passed away in 2009 at just 50 years old. His death shocked the world, as he was not only a music legend but a defining figure in global pop culture for decades. Even with a career filled with historic success and unmatched influence, Jackson's private life was marked by emotional struggles and health challenges he could never fully overcome. His dependency on medication deepened over time, leaving him increasingly vulnerable and unable to break free. Combined with isolation, enormous public pressure, and ongoing mental and emotional stress, these burdens gradually took control of his life and pushed him toward an irreversible fate. Michael Jackson's struggles first took shape in 1984 after a serious accident on the set of a Pepsi commercial left him with severe burns on his head and face. The injuries required hospitalization and several medical procedures, during which doctors prescribed strong opioid painkillers to ease his suffering. What began as treatment for genuine physical pain soon became the first turning point in Jackson's downward battle with addiction. The medication, while necessary at the time, opened the door to a dangerous and alluring dependence, quietly setting a long and painful journey into motion. From that moment, the difficult years ahead began, as Jackson slowly found himself unable to break away from the grip of the drugs that were meant to help him heal. In 1993, as his dependence deepened and signs of struggle became harder to hide, Michael Jackson made the decision to enter a rehabilitation center in hopes of reclaiming control over his life. He enrolled in a 12-step recovery program, a method created to help individuals break free from addictive substances, including powerful pain medications and sedatives. This marked one of Jackson's most determined efforts to confront his growing dependency and seek a path toward healing. Yet, despite this courageous step, addiction remained a shadow he could never fully escape. His time in rehabilitation demonstrated not only his willingness to fight, but also the brutal reality that recovery is rarely straightforward, and sometimes, even immense willpower is not enough to break free from the grip of addiction. The official cause of Michael Jackson's death was cardiac arrest, brought on by a combination of sedatives and propofol, a powerful anesthetic that his personal physician administered to help him cope with severe insomnia. Propofol is normally reserved for surgical settings, yet Jackson relied on it as a sleep aid, creating a dangerous and unusual medical situation. Over time, the mixture of propofol and other medications placed immense strain on his body, eventually leading to the fatal cardiac arrest. In the end, those responsible for monitoring his care were unable to protect him from the risks associated with such powerful drugs, and by the time the consequences became clear, it was too late. Jackson's passing was devastating not only because the world lost one of its most iconic performers, but also because a complex struggle with medical treatment and medication use played a major role in the tragedy. Jackie Wilson, famously nicknamed Mr. Excitement, stands as one of the most electrifying figures in R&B history. Born in Detroit, Michigan, in 1934, Wilson captured audiences with his soaring vocals, magnetic stage presence, and unmatched showmanship. His timeless hits such as Lonely Teardrops, Reet Petite, and Your Love Keeps Lifting Me Higher and Higher not only thrilled listeners across generations, but also helped shape the early sound of soul and pop music. Widely recognized as a key influence on the development of the Motown sound, Wilson inspired future icons, including Michael Jackson. Known for his dynamic voice as much as his high-energy, acrobatic stage routines, Jackie Wilson carved out a legacy that set the standard for modern entertainers and forever transformed the world of live performance. Jackie Wilson's collapse not only shocked the music world, but also exposed the harsh pressures that hide behind the spotlight. Once a dazzling star with extraordinary talent and electrifying stage presence, Wilson faced silent struggles that fame quietly brought with it. That moment became a symbol of the darker side of show business, where artists are forced to battle not only the expectations of the public, but also their own inner turmoil, loneliness, and overwhelming temptations. Wilson's story reminds us that behind the bright lights lie sacrifices and pain that most people never see. Jackie Wilson's career soared with chart-topping hits and unforgettable live performances. But behind the glamorous public image, his personal life was marked by deep emotional and psychological turmoil. Despite his fame, Wilson battled paranoia, depression, and overwhelming stress. Those close to him described him as being weighed down by the pressure of stardom, and his behavior grew increasingly unstable, marked by emotional outbursts and paranoid thoughts. The most heartbreaking moment came in 1975, when Wilson collapsed on stage during a show in New Jersey, revealing just how severe his internal struggles had become. With his remarkable ability to blend soul, pop, and gospel, Jackie Wilson carved out a unique and timeless place in music history. He wasn't just a gifted vocalist, he was a symbol of creativity and innovation, crafting a performance style that mesmerized audiences and set a new standard for stage presence. His powerful voice, electrifying dance moves, and high-energy shows showcased not only his incredible talent but also his fearless drive to push artistic boundaries. From the emotional depth of soul to the catchiness of pop and the spiritual roots of gospel, Wilson shaped a musical legacy that remains unforgettable. Beyond his hit songs, he opened doors for generations of artists who followed, forever changing the landscape of modern music. While performing his hit Lonely Teardrops, Jackie Wilson suddenly collapsed on stage from a heart attack. He slipped into a coma and never woke up, spending the next 9 years in a vegetative state. This shocking moment marked the end of a legendary career. Behind the fame and electrifying performances, Wilson had been struggling for years with personal battles, emotional stress, and addiction. The pressure of fame slowly broke him, turning one of music's brightest stars into a heartbreaking cautionary tale of how the spotlight can take everything, even life itself. The pressure of fame, the demands of the public, and personal battles can break even the strongest spirits. Jackie Wilson is one of the most powerful examples of how overwhelming life can become when everything spirals out of control. He passed away in 1984 at just 49 years old, leaving behind a massive legacy touched by heartbreak. The man who once lit up the stage with his incredible voice and magnetic presence was ultimately undone by the same spotlight that made him a star. Jackie Wilson's story is a powerful reminder of the heavy mental toll fame can take, especially when inner struggles are ignored. His life remains both heroic and tragic, a celebration of extraordinary talent and a warning about the unseen battles that artists face behind the curtain. Young Thug went from dominating the charts with hits like Pick Up the Phone and Lifestyle to sitting behind bars, his empire now clouded by a growing list of serious criminal charges. At his peak, he wasn't just making music, he was shaping the sound of a generation, influencing an entire wave of hip-hop culture and building a powerful musical dynasty. But behind the fame and success, a storm was brewing. Legal battles, criminal accusations, and ongoing investigations slowly began to overshadow his accomplishments. Despite being one of the most influential artists in modern hip-hop, Young Thug's career has been shaken by courtroom drama and allegations threatening to derail everything he built. This is one of the most talked-about legal cases in the hip-hop world today, highlighting the tension between artistic success and the legal battles that can threaten to derail a career. In May 2022, Young Thug, born Jeffrey Williams, was arrested in connection with a long-running investigation tied to alleged organized criminal activity. Authorities accused him and individuals associated with YSL of involvement in multiple offenses over several years, citing a total of 56 counts, including a rented Infiniti vehicle that investigators believe was linked to a violent incident. Following the arrest, a search of his home led to additional charges, and prosecutors described the case as part of a broader criminal conspiracy. The situation immediately sent shockwaves through the music industry as fans and artists reacted to the news and waited to see how the legal proceedings would unfold. Today, Young Thug remains behind bars as his multi-year trial continues, marked by constant delays, legal twists, and intense media attention. The courtroom has almost turned into a spotlight of its own, with emotional moments, viral clips, and public debate reaching all the way to major celebrity interviews, questioning whether he's facing fair treatment or being used as an example. With the possibility of a lengthy sentence, potentially up to 20 years, hanging over his future, the uncertainty grows. Fans around the world are left wondering if one of hip-hop's most innovative voices will ever return to the stage, or if this chapter will mark the end of a groundbreaking music journey. Did you know that throughout their careers, some of the most iconic Black R&B artists carried a deeply personal secret? They were the voices behind timeless love songs that still move our hearts today. Yet, behind the spotlight and fame, they lived with truths they never felt free to share. These 15 R&B legends spent their lives in quiet solitude, concealing parts of who they truly were, stories that remained untold even after they were gone. These stories are not only fascinating, but also reveal the sacrifices that music legends often make to protect their fame and careers. Their lives represent more than just chapters in music history. They remind us of the heavy price of fame in a world still shaped by judgment and bias. In today's video, we'll uncover the hidden sides of these incredible artists. If you'd like to learn more about their untold journeys, don't forget to subscribe and give this video a like. Share your thoughts in the comments below. We'd love to hear from you. Thank you for watching. Her life and career remind us that the most powerful truths don't always need to be shouted sometimes. They're best whispered through songs that speak directly to the heart, reaching those courageous enough to live authentically. Nona Hendryx's story stands as a timeless reminder of the strength found in personal freedom and the importance of living one's truth, even when the world isn't yet ready to embrace it. Billy Preston, born in 1,946 inches Houston, Texas, remains one of the most unforgettable figures in modern music history. Often called the fifth Beatle and the superstar of the organ, Preston began playing the instrument at just 3 years old and was performing alongside gospel legend Mahalia Jackson before the age of 10. These early experiences shaped his extraordinary musical gift, deeply rooted in the spirit of gospel and the soul of rhythm and blues. As a teenager, Billy Preston performed alongside legends like Little Richard and Ray Charles, absorbing the soulful rhythms and gospel influences that would shape his musical identity. His exceptional mastery of the keyboard later led him to collaborate with icons such as Aretha Franklin, the Rolling Stones, Sly Stone, and George Harrison. Remarkably, Preston became one of the few artists ever invited by the Beatles to record with them, earning the nickname the Fifth Beatle and playing a pivotal role in the creation of their timeless hit, Get Back. With hits like Nothing from Nothing, Outta Space, and Will It Go Round in Circles, Billy Preston climbed to the top of the charts, earning a Grammy Award and securing his place among the musical greats of the 1,970 seconds. His vibrant performances and infectious energy made him a beloved figure across genres. Yet, behind the brilliance of his success and the joy he brought to the stage, there was a personal truth that Billy Preston never revealed to the public. Although his music radiated joy and energy, behind the spotlight, Billy Preston lived a far quieter, more guarded life. Friends and colleagues have shared that he was gay, yet during a time when the music industry, especially within R&B, was steeped in discrimination, living openly was nearly impossible. The contrast between his vibrant public image and his hidden private world became a silent burden, leaving Preston trapped between fear and the longing to be truly free. In private moments, Preston confessed that the weight of hiding his true self had left him emotionally exhausted. While audiences saw an artist bursting with joy and energy on stage, those closest to him witnessed the loneliness that lingered when the spotlight faded. He yearned to live openly, to love without fear, yet the threat of ridicule, lost opportunities, and rejection kept him silent for much of his life. The contrast between the freedom in his music and the silence that defined his private life paints a story that is both inspiring and deeply tragic. Though Billy Preston never spoke publicly about his true self, his life remains a powerful reminder of the price paid by those living in a world not yet ready to embrace difference. He was more than a gifted musician. He became a symbol of the quiet battles so many artists have fought behind the curtain of fame. Billy Preston's life, marked by the silence he was forced to maintain, mirrors the heavy societal pressures of his time. His music still resonates with the same joy and freedom he once gave to the world, yet within those vibrant melodies, one can almost hear the unspoken notes, the truths he could never sing aloud. When Preston passed away in 2006 at the age of 59, his music endured, timeless and alive, even as the story of his true self remained largely untold. Donny Hathaway, born in 1,000 945 inches Chicago, Illinois, is celebrated as one of the greatest artists in American music history, a voice capable of reaching the deepest corners of the human heart. Raised in a family rooted in gospel tradition, with his grandmother serving as a gospel singer, Hathaway was surrounded by music from an early age. While studying at Howard University in Washington, D.C., his extraordinary talent for piano and musical arrangement quickly set him apart, paving the way for a remarkable career that flourished throughout the 1,970 seconds. Hathaway's genius extended far beyond performance. He was a gifted composer who masterfully blended gospel, jazz, R&B, and classical influences into a sound that was both smooth and profoundly moving. With timeless ballads like Misty, Someday We'll All Be Free, and Where Is the Love, his unforgettable duet with Roberta Flack Hathaway carried his music across borders and generations. His songs became more than hits. They were enduring anthems of love, connection, and hope, earning him deep respect throughout the industry and a well-deserved Grammy Award. Renowned for his warm tenor voice and unmatched emotional depth, Donny Hathaway rose to become one of the greatest R&B artists of all time. While his performances captivated audiences around the world, he quietly carried a heavy inner burden. Behind the image of a gifted musician were deep personal struggles and unspoken conflicts. Those close to him, friends and musical collaborators, often hinted that Hathaway's private life was far more complex than anyone realized. In the 1,970 seconds, when society was still steeped in prejudice and discrimination, the idea of speaking openly about his sexuality was unimaginable. At the same time, Hathaway battled paranoid schizophrenia, an internal struggle that became one of the most painful aspects of his life and career. Much of this emotion found its way into his music, where the beauty of his songs often masked his private suffering. Behind the spotlight, Hathaway's silent pain remained invisible to the world. In his more withdrawn moments, he confided that hiding his true feelings had left him emotionally exhausted. Hathaway's songs felt like whispers of emotions too fragile to be spoken aloud, and it was this very vulnerability that gave his music such profound power. Each melody carried not only beauty but also the weight of untold stories. On the 13th of January 1979, Donny Hathaway's life came to a heartbreaking end when he fell from a New York hotel window at the age of 33. His death, ruled a suicide, sent shockwaves through the music world and left behind haunting questions. Were his struggles with mental illness or the secrets he carried in silence part of what led to such a tragic final chapter? Though no one can ever truly know the reasons behind his passing, Donny Hathaway left behind a profound musical legacy that continues to inspire generations. Artists such as Alicia Keys, John Legend, and Stevie Wonder have all named him as a guiding influence, a voice that shaped their artistry and understanding of soul music. His powerful, heartfelt performances still echo in the hearts of listeners today, serving as both a tribute to his genius and a reminder of the silent battles that so many artists quietly face behind the music. The story of Donny Hathaway is more than a musical journey filled with emotion. It's a powerful reminder of the hidden struggles that many artists silently endure. Songs like Someday We'll All Be Free and Where Is the Love continue to touch hearts across generations. If Donny Hathaway's story resonates with you, drop a 1-inch in the comments. If you see it differently, leave a 0 and share your thoughts below. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe so you won't miss the next inspiring stories coming your way. Marvin Gaye was more than a legendary singer. He was the very heartbeat of Motown, crafting melodies that stirred the souls of millions. Born in 1,939 inches Washington, D.C., he began singing in a gospel choir before rising to become one of the defining voices of the 1,960 seconds and 1,970 seconds. With timeless hits like Ain't No Mountain High Enough, Let's Get It On, and Sexual Healing, Marvin Gaye not only sold millions of records but also earned his place as the Prince of Motown, celebrated for his smooth tenor voice and unmatched songwriting brilliance. Yet behind the dazzling career and romantic lyrics, Marvin Gaye's life was filled with complexity and inner turmoil. He was a man caught between the strict expectations of his religious upbringing, the pressures of the Motown machine, and persistent rumors about his personal relationships. Throughout his career, Gaye wrestled with deep internal conflicts, tensions that only grew as whispers about his private life and alleged same-sex relationships began to surface. Although his family quickly dismissed these claims, they caused many fans to look deeper into the meanings behind songs like Let's Get It On and Sexual Healing. The subtle ambiguity in his lyrics, where longing, vulnerability, and rebellion intertwined, gave his music a haunting emotional depth. Yet behind those timeless melodies, Marvin Gaye's personal life was far from serene, marked by private struggles and unspoken pain that the world would only glimpse through his songs. Marvin Gaye battled financial troubles, substance abuse, and deep family conflicts, most notably with his strict father, a pastor. These struggles, intertwined with his inner turmoil, gave rise to profoundly reflective songs like What's Going On, a masterpiece, that served both as social commentary and as an outpouring of his personal pain. His voice carried a rare duality, intimate yet distant, as if he was baring his soul while still guarding his deepest secrets. Tragically, his life came to an end through an act of violence. On the 1st of April 1984, just one day before his 45th birthday, Marvin Gaye was tragically shot and killed by his own father during a family dispute. The shocking news sent ripples across the world, casting a somber shadow over his extraordinary legacy. Marvin Gaye endures not only through the timeless music he left behind, but also through the enduring mystery of his life and spirit. His songs radiated passion, defiance, and raw vulnerability, yet the deepest truths of his heart remained forever unspoken. Whitney Houston stands among the greatest artists in music history, a voice so powerful it could stir hearts with a single note. Born in 1,963 inches Newark, New Jersey, she was raised in a deeply musical family rooted in gospel traditions. With her mother's influence and close ties to legends like Dionne Warwick and Aretha Franklin, Whitney carried the spirit of the church into mainstream pop. In the 1,980 seconds, she became a global phenomenon, blending soulful emotion with pop brilliance and forever redefining what it meant to be a superstar. With over 200 million records sold, Whitney Houston secured her place among the best-selling artists of all time. Timeless hits like I Will Always Love You, Greatest Love of All, and How Will I Know became global anthems, cementing her status as one of the greatest vocalists the world has ever known. Yet behind the dazzling success and radiant smile, Whitney carried a deeply personal secret, a truth about her private life that she kept hidden for most of her years. Whitney shared a deep bond with Robin Crawford, her childhood friend, confidante, and lifelong companion. The two were often seen together, sparking rumors about the nature of their relationship. Whitney never addressed the speculation publicly, and Robin remained silent for decades. It wasn't until 2019, in her memoir A Song for You, My Life with Whitney Houston, that Robin revealed the truth. Their connection had been more than friendship. It was a profound and private love. However, Whitney ultimately chose to end the romantic side of their relationship to protect her career. Pressures from her record label, her family, and the public forced her to hide her true self, living in an industry and a society not yet ready to accept her truth. Though she avoided personal questions in interviews, the loneliness behind her radiant smile often told its own story. Even during her turbulent marriage to Bobby Brown, inner peace remained out of reach. Many believe that Whitney's struggles stemmed from years of suppressing her true self, unable to live authentically in a world still bound by prejudice. Yet, her voice never betrayed her pain. Every note she sang, especially in I Will Always Love You, carried the weight of longing, as if she were expressing a love she could never reveal. On the 11th of February, 2012, Whitney Houston passed away at the age of 48. Her death sent shockwaves across the world, marking the heartbreaking end of a life filled with brilliance, love, and hidden sorrow. Whitney Houston's legacy is defined not only by her extraordinary voice, but also by the profound lesson her life left behind: the cost of silence. Through her music, she showed the world the power of love, even as she was denied the freedom to love openly. Whitney's story is more than a tale of musical greatness. It is a moving reminder of the quiet pain that comes when one cannot live in full authenticity. Teddy Pendergrass stands as one of the greatest icons of soul music, a voice so powerful and magnetic that it made millions of hearts race. Born in 1,950 inches, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, Pendergrass began his career as a drummer before joining Harold Melvin and the Blue Notes in the early 1970 seconds. His undeniable talent soon elevated him to the role of lead vocalist, where he stunned audiences with unforgettable performances on hits like If You Don't Know Me By Now, a song that shook the soul music world and announced the arrival of a true legend. Pendergrass's career truly skyrocketed when he embarked on his solo journey in the mid-1970 seconds. With timeless hits like Close the Door, Love TKO, and Turn Off the Lights, he cemented his place among music's legends, earning the title King of Romance. His emotionally charged performances, especially his famed concerts exclusively for women, shaped the image of a charismatic and irresistibly magnetic artist. Yet behind the spotlight, Teddy Pendergrass carried a private truth he never spoke of publicly: the complexity of his personal life and the persistent rumors surrounding his same-sex relationships. Teddy Pendergrass's love life and personal relationships remained shrouded in mystery, especially after the devastating 1982 car accident that left him paralyzed from the chest down. Though he never confirmed or denied the rumors about his private life, the tragedy only deepened the intrigue surrounding him. Living under constant public scrutiny and immense pressure, coming out was simply unimaginable in that era. Throughout his career, Pendergrass skillfully deflected questions about his personal affairs, choosing instead to focus on his music and the remarkable strength it took to rebuild his life. Despite facing unimaginable challenges from his car accident to a lifelong disability, Teddy Pendergrass never lost his determination to perform again. In 1985, he made a triumphant return at Live Aid, delivering a powerful, emotional performance that proved his voice was as commanding as ever, even though his body had changed. Still, questions about his personal life continued to linger. Yet Pendergrass's story is not one of scandal or tragedy, but of courage, resilience, and gratitude, a testament to the human spirit's ability to rise above pain and keep shining. In his 1998 autobiography, Truly Blessed, Teddy Pendergrass reflected on the power of resilience and the beauty that can emerge from pain. Though he shared many chapters of his extraordinary life, he remained private about certain aspects of his personal relationships. That silence became part of his legacy, adding depth and mystery to his public image. Teddy Pendergrass passed away in 2010 at the age of 59 from complications related to colon cancer, leaving behind not just unforgettable music, but an enduring story of strength, survival, and grace. His passing marked not only the loss of one of R&B's greatest voices, but also the loss of a man who carried secrets that were never revealed. Teddy Pendergrass's musical legacy, filled with passion, sensuality, and emotional depth, continues to live on in the hearts of his fans. Yet his story also stands as a quiet lesson about the truths left unanswered, the price of silence and secrecy, and the extraordinary power of music to transcend even a life filled with unspoken contradictions. Did you know that throughout their careers, some of the most iconic Black R&B artists carried a deeply personal secret? They were the voices behind timeless love songs that still move our hearts today. Yet, behind the spotlight and fame, they lived with truths they never felt free to share. These 15 R&B legends spent their lives in quiet solitude, concealing parts of who they truly were, stories that remained untold even after they were gone. These stories are not only fascinating, but also reveal the sacrifices that music legends often make to protect their fame and careers. Their lives represent more than just chapters in music history. They remind us of the heavy price of fame in a world still shaped by judgment and bias. In today's video, we'll uncover the hidden sides of these incredible artists. If you'd like to learn more about their untold journeys, don't forget to subscribe and give this video a like. Share your thoughts in the comments below. We'd love to hear from you. Thank you for watching. Phyllis Hyman possessed a voice of captivating depth, a symbol of R&B and jazz, rich with emotion and soul. Born in 1,949 inches, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. She was raised in a large working-class family and turned to music as her refuge from life's hardships. With her striking height, graceful presence, and powerful stage charisma, Phyllis quickly captured attention, rising to become one of the most prominent female voices in R&B throughout the 1,970 seconds and 1,980 seconds. Her breakthrough hit, You Know How to Love Me 1,979 catapulted Phyllis Hyman to new heights, showcasing the strength, elegance, and emotional power of her extraordinary voice. Later albums, including Living All Alone 1,986, further cemented her place in the R&B world with the haunting title track resonating deeply with anyone who had ever known loneliness. Phyllis had a rare gift for making listeners stop and feel. Every note, from her soulful lows to her heartfelt lyrics, carried the weight of genuine emotion. Yet behind the glamour and stage lights, Phyllis Hyman carried burdens few ever saw. Rumors about her same-sex relationships quietly followed her, though she never addressed them publicly. Instead, she poured her emotions and inner struggles into her music. Songs like You Know How to Love Me and Living All Alone were far more than love songs. They were reflections of her private battles, where every lyric and every note revealed the depth of her unspoken pain. Though she never spoke publicly about her personal life, Phyllis Hyman's music revealed everything: the sadness, the longing, and the loneliness that followed her throughout her years. Behind her radiant smile and captivating performances, she quietly battled severe depression, a struggle that few in the 1,980 seconds music industry dared to acknowledge. Despite her fame and beauty, she often felt isolated. Friends described her as radiant and commanding on stage, yet fragile and vulnerable when the spotlight faded. The pressures of the music industry, ongoing financial struggles, and the stigma surrounding mental health left Phyllis Hyman feeling increasingly isolated, unable to break free from society's expectations. As her career began to slow in the early 1,990 seconds, she remained deeply respected by both fans and fellow artists. Yet the loneliness she sang about was more than poetic expression. It was a reflection of her own pain. On the 30th of June, 1995, just hours before she was scheduled to perform at the Apollo Theater in Harlem, Phyllis Hyman tragically passed away at the age of 45. In her final note, Phyllis Hyman wrote that she was simply tired and could no longer go on. Her passing sent shockwaves through the music world, leaving fans and fellow artists heartbroken. They mourned not only the loss of an extraordinary voice, but also of a woman who carried too much unspoken pain. Her songs remain like letters left behind for the world, each one layered with emotion, truth, and meaning far deeper than melody alone. The legacy of Phyllis Hyman endures in every haunting love song and in every melody that carries both beauty and sorrow. Her story reminds us of the heavy price of silence and the loneliness that even the most gifted artists can face in a world clouded by stigma and judgment. Phyllis Hyman was more than a soul music diva. She was a symbol of strength and vulnerability, a timeless example of how an artist can transform pain into art and bear the depths of the human heart through music. Billy Paul, born Paul Williams in 1,934 inches, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, possessed one of the most distinctive and captivating voices of the Philadelphia soul era. Seamlessly blending jazz, gospel, and R&B influences, he crafted a career that spanned more than 5 decades. His name became forever linked to his 1,972 classic, Me and Mrs. Jones, a soulful masterpiece that topped the Billboard Hot 100, earned him a Grammy Award for Best R&B Male Vocal Performance and sold over 2 million copies worldwide. The success of this album not only catapulted Billy Paul to fame, but also showcased his rare ability to fuse the sophistication of jazz with the emotional depth of R&B. Me and Mrs. Jones, with its tale of forbidden love and its smooth, seductive melody, became one of the most iconic ballads in music history. Yet behind that success lingered unanswered questions and quiet rumors about his personal life, particularly whispers regarding his possible same-sex relationships, which he never addressed publicly. Billy Paul was an intensely private man, rarely giving interviews or revealing details about his personal life. His quiet nature fueled speculation, with many wondering about the truth behind his unspoken romances. Though he never confirmed the rumors, the emotional duality in his music led listeners to believe that his love songs might have been reflections of feelings he could never fully express aloud. Throughout the 1,970 seconds, Billy Paul released a string of remarkable albums, including 360 Degrees of Billy Paul and War of the Gods, works infused with political insight, social commentary, and sensual undertones. Ever the innovator, he fearlessly blended funk, gospel, and R&B into a sound uniquely his own. Yet, unlike contemporaries such as Marvin Gaye, who often clashed publicly with record labels and lived under constant media attention, Billy Paul chose to remain an enigma, a man whose art spoke loudly, even as his personal life stayed shrouded in mystery. The legacy of Billy Paul remains layered and complex, shaped as much by his silence as by his soulful voice. To some, he was simply the man behind Me and Mrs. Jones. To others, he was a mysterious artist whose songs carried meanings that were never fully understood. Even decades later, discussions about Billy Paul go beyond his immense musical talent. They touch on the private life he guarded so carefully.